Part 304. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3031. Wave after wave of yelling followed, and the expressions on everyone's faces changed. While talking at this moment, the sound of breathing could not help but become extremely real. Now they are basically lamenting the power of Guangming Academy. Tai Shiji held his head high and held his chest high, accepting all of this calmly. It's still such a comfortable feeling to be noticed. The whole person was in a high spirits, and his mentality felt a little different. He let out a breath of turbid air, and his eyes turned all over. Especially seeing the livid face of Su Qin, the deputy head of Yuanji Academy, Grand Uncle Ji felt more and more at ease. Just to crush this bastard in every way. Only in this way can we live up to our youth. Who made this guy keep provoking crazily and choose to fight back? Isn't that a matter of course? The battle continues. Yuanji Academy. Send out real elites. Deal with friends from Guangming Academy. This is also respect for them. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, gritted his teeth, and then said speculatively from the side. Needless to say about other things for the time being, the mentality seems to be a bit broken. The black lines on his forehead grew more and more, and the anger also broke out in an all-round way. After Gui Sha won a game, he did not step down, but chose to continue the battle. On the ring, Yuanji Academy began to send a second student to participate. Let me go. Let me go. Mentor, I must be able to tear this bastard in half. Humph. This is to show the majesty of our Yuanji Academy. These bastards dare to underestimate our Yuanji Academy. Yuan Kai, the captain of the first-year representative team of Yuanji Academy, gritted his teeth and said with a displeased face. For Yuan Kai, the captain of the first-year representative team of Yuanji Academy, his team members were defeated, and his face was gone. He represents the entire Yuanji Academy. What the hell, can you bear it? He pretended to rush forward, showing an explosive posture. Anger gathered here, and the black line on his forehead gathered all over. Needless to say the rest, I just want to express these things mentally. You are a 5-star high-level sanctuary realm existence, and you are also the captain of our first-year team from Yuanji Academy. It would be too embarrassing if he just appeared at this time. The deputy palace master said it. I can't afford to lose that person. Tai Sen made a move in this match. His combat power is second only to you, and he is also the second strongest member of our first-year team of Yuanji Academy. Don't worry, Taisen is also a mid-5-star sanctuary realm existence, just a little worse than you, so it's not a big problem. The tutor of Yuanji Academy frowned, and then comforted him from the side. At this moment, the mentality should naturally be fully stabilized. At least at this time, don't slack off easily. Although Yuan Kai, the captain of the first-year representative team of Yuanji Academy, still felt particularly unhappy, he could only choose to compromise at this moment. That being said, there is actually no problem. If Yuanji Academy has just lost a game, it will send a representative team captain. How embarrassing is this? After all, Guangming Academy officially announced that this ghost is just a member of the Guangming Academy's reserve team. Snort. Illuminati knows how to do this. So, don't you just want to show how powerful you are? Hypocritical routine. This trick, I don't know how many years ago I played it. It's still doing this. From this, it can actually be concluded that Guangming Academy doesn't have much confidence at all. I can conclude that this ghost is their pillar. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3032. Yuan Kai, the captain of the first-year representative team of Yuanji Academy, smiled disdainfully, but he seemed quite confident. All kinds of thoughts in this heart gather here, and the whole person becomes smug. If you think about it this way, you will be able to take off gradually. That's all. Can you still talk about a hammer? The second competition between Guangming Academy and Yuanqi Academy is about to start. This time it's a 5-star mid-sanctuary student from Yuanqi Academy, Thai Senator. I go. This guy is so majestic. This fist is so big. I'm afraid it's the size of 3 fists. Bai Biao waved his fist, then made a wave of comparisons, and then came to this conclusion. While talking at the moment, he couldn't help but nodded. I don't need to say much about the rest. This time I felt a little bit in place, and my eyes also turned around. The more you look at it, the more interesting it becomes, and the more you look at it, the more it feels like that. The overall situation is also unusual. In this way, all these things become real. Brother Gisha is probably cold this time. Fang Fan glanced forward, then shrugged. This can basically be seen, and the overall situation is particularly real. Brother Gisha is cold, isn't it my turn to play? Bai Biao's eyes lit up, it was indeed such a logic, and the excitement on his face was fully gathered at this moment. At this moment, he couldn't help looking at Shui Wanren, the deputy master of Guangming Academy who was supervising the battle, and nodded expectantly. Vice Palace Master. Cough. In order to be able to display the prestige of our Guangming Academy, I am willing to make some sacrifices. I am willing to come to the arena in person and fight unremittingly for the prestige of the Guangming Academy. Your Majesty Deputy Palace Master, don't worry, I will definitely win this battle. By the way, Brother Xiuoqiu, help me take care of the betting market later, open the one-sided market directly, and only open the betting market that I lose. As long as you bet on me and lose, you will pay 100. Ha ha ha. I can't lose. Bai Biao nodded deeply and said, while talking, the excitement on his face was beyond words, and his mentality took off in full swing. So excited and thrilled. At this moment, countless sincere pictures can't help but appear in my mind. Gradually, there are those pictures. Okay. Knowing that you are amazing, don't keep saying. But this time I still can't pull you on stage. Hee hee. According to what you said, you will be able to display your combat power once. In this way, you are a baby bump. I heard from Grand Uncle G that your sudden attack can unleash a low-level saint-level combat power. Hiss. In this way, if you can face top students from other schools in the arena of 4th-year students, it must be a blood prophet. And, it must be a top elite student who went to the Dark Academy. Because you were a sudden blow, and the top elite students of the Dark Academy killed him before they could react. In this way, the overall situation can fully blossom. This scene is enough to surprise people. Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy, squinted his eyes, and while talking, he followed and calculated. Needless to say anything else, this is too much to think about. At this time, don't forget to reduce the combat power of the Dark School as much as possible. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Xu Yu. Chapter 3033. The grievances between the Bright Academy and the Dark Academy are indeed too deep. Both want to kill each other. In all aspects, there will naturally be problems of one kind or another. If it weren't for being on the territory of Yuanqi Academy, they would have started fighting each other long ago. Light and darkness, this is the existence of opposites. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, thinking to himself, the facial expression changes are very real. I don't know how long this battle will last. Fang Fan tapped his fingers on the ground, his thoughts gathered here, and his eyes couldn't help but look out. Bai Piao still seemed a little displeased. If he didn't play, wouldn't he be unable to get the rewards from this school? Millions of credits. And every time you win a game, you can also double the credits. When these benefits come together, it is immediately exciting. Thinking about it at this moment, the sound of breathing can't help but become rapid, and the whole person also becomes swaying. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is slowly coming into place. Takeoff, full takeoff. Master Deputy Palace Master, you are not thinking properly. You really can't do this. This doesn't look like that at all. Master Deputy Palace Master, I can perform the strongest blow every day. You see, today is almost over. Wouldn't it be a pity if it wasn't used? Speed up. Why? Hold on in all directions. Bai Piao smashed his mouth, and wanted to fight for himself. But thinking about it this time, it is basically useless. The situation is such a situation, the situation is such a situation, and this can still be played with a hammer. The matter has come to this point, it is useless to say more. Okay. Stop making noise. I'll talk about things later. This Yuanqi Academy is coming in menacingly, so I should teach him a bloody lesson. If Kisha is defeated later, Fang Fan, you will play. It's fine to just pick it horizontally. A quick fix is best. Treat the practitioners of Yuanqi Academy, just deal with them as you like. After all, they are neutral schools, so it's not easy to offend them. But if you encounter a student from the Dark Academy, beat me to death. Don't think I'm cruel, because they all think so too. Even if you don't do it at that time, they will act like this. No matter what, you must stabilize your mentality. This is a friendly exchange match, but it is also a bright and clear small battlefield. In this small battlefield, it is necessary to kill the hostile target as much as possible. Those who can be sent here by the Dark Academy must be the elite of the elite. For such an elite, naturally we can't slack off easily. In all aspects, we must hold on. If you can kill the rising stars of these dark schools, it is equivalent to cutting off the Dark Temple and even the future saints and even demigods of the entire Dark Camp. This is war on another level. Don't underestimate this kind of alternative war. Sometimes it is more important than fighting on the battlefield. In the previous exchanges between various colleges and universities, a monster appeared in the Dark Academy, and all the students from my Bright Academy were killed. Blood feud must be washed away with blood. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3034. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, was talking, and the veins on his forehead began to bulge slowly. While speaking at this moment, his eyes couldn't help but scan all over, all kinds of thoughts gathered in his heart, and his whole body became swaying. Needless to say the rest for the time being, the mentality is gathered here at this moment, and everything is bursting out. Full blown. Roaring all over the area again. It feels so real. While Shui Wanren was speaking, the battle on the ring had already been decided. Although Guisha was full of fighting spirit, after all, the one sent by Yuanqi Academy was a small level higher than him, and Guisha also consumed some power in the previous battle, so after the battle started, he fell behind after 100 moves. Lost. Everything is within reason. Immediately, Guisha didn't bother too much, and directly chose to admit defeat. At this time, it doesn't make much sense if the machine repair follows the fierce battle. After all, Guisha is not the only student who can fight in Guangming Academy. Yuanqi Academy wins. The referee on the ring roared with excitement. This is the home court of Yuanqi Academy, so of course, all the referees here are from Yuanqi Academy. Although these referees didn't dare to make random judgments during the game, they could still roar a few words after seeing their students from UNG Academy win. At the very least, this mentality must also take off in an all-round way. Full hold on, it seems very real. Thinking about it this way is quite true. Goisha retreated, but he didn't feel any frustration. It's actually quite normal. Brother Fang Fan, brother Bai Piao, the next battle is up to you. I'm just going up to get some soy sauce. Gisha walked over calmly, then said with a smile. Hey. Let's take a good look below. The battle in the future will only become more rapid. This is getting more and more interesting. Bai Piao raised her eyebrows, and then said excitedly. Then his eyes continued to look at Shui Wanren, the deputy head of Guangming Academy. In fact, it is still the same thing as before. He wants to go up and do. He still wanted to work harder, but Shui Wanren didn't even look at him. Fang Fan. Go on. Quick battle. Snored. Come out with the prestige of my Guangming Academy. This Yuanji Academy is indeed a little bit drifting. Shui Wanren looked at the attic on the second floor. At this moment, Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, was laughing wildly. There will inevitably be some words that belittle Guangming Academy. In addition, on the ring, that first-year student from Yuanji Academy, Taizan, was beating his chest excitedly, with a proud and defiant attitude. Vulnerable. Bright Academy has a false name. My warm-up is not over yet. Why? I haven't had a good time yet. I ran away by myself. It's not interesting, it's really not interesting at all. Are there any students from Guangming Academy who dare to charge forward? Come on. Go on. Pretend. On the ring, Tai Sen, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, began to provoke wantonly. Anyway, it's getting better and better now. At this moment, drift to the end, drift to the extreme. As he spoke, his body trembled all over. This wave, take off. Totally took off. Taizan, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, followed and roared, and by the way, other students of Yuanji Academy were also mobilized to shout. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3035. After all, the audience here are basically students from all grades of Yuanji Academy. Although there are some honest and courageous people, most of them have crooked buttocks. They naturally hope that Yuanji Academy can win. For them, it is also an honor worth showing off. With such a touch, it becomes real invisibly. Gradually, the mentality will take off in an all-round way. Yuanji Academy is invincible. 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 Compared to Guangming Academy and our Yuanji Academy, it's not much worse. Brothers of Yuanji Academy. Explode. Follow up. Yuanji Academy. We must win. The leader must belong to our Yuanji Academy. Battle, battle. Invincible. Wave after wave of roars followed, and the excitement on everyone's faces was beyond words. Needless to say, the rest for the time being, the mentality has been fully gathered at this moment. At this moment, Yuanji Academy has been completely promoted to the forefront. In the attic, Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanji Academy, is also doing things non-stop. It seems that he has to come up with something to make him feel happy. Why? I'm making you laugh. These guys just got a little bit of victory, and they got carried away. They've always had that kind of morale. There is really no way. Everyone, don't be offended. Actually, we can all see that the student from Guangming Academy named Goishai has already played very well, but it's a pity that he still missed a move in the end. Brother Tai, don't blame this student named Gisha. It's amazing to have such combat power at such a young age. If this is cultivated in my Yuanji Academy, I'm afraid it will be another peerless arrogance. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, is in Versailles both publicly and secretly. It's just that he won a battle in the temporary stage, and this guy couldn't bear it anymore. From time to time, I just babbled on the sidelines, expressing a wave of self-feeling. It's too good to pretend. Tai Shiji's mood is very stable at the moment. He doesn't even bother to talk nonsense. He looked towards the arena, and when he saw Fang Fan walking towards the arena, his emotions immediately began to fluctuate. Here comes his precious apprentice. This is already stable. That's my apprentice, Fang Fan. He's also the captain of the Guangming Academy's first-year representative team. Why? How is this arranged? If my apprentice is on the stage, wouldn't Yuanqi Academy have no chance at all? What else can this do? It's over, it's over. Isn't this too disrespectful to everyone in Yuanqi Academy? Grand Uncle Ji stood up, swayed twice, and then said excitedly, "My beloved disciple is here, and my heart immediately feels at ease." At this moment, the audience was stunned. Looking at each other left and right, I feel that something is not quite right. At this moment, they all focused their attention on Tai Shiji, with strange expressions on their faces. The captain of the first-year representative team of the two-star sanctuary of Guangming Academy is now on the field. As for, are you so excited? There are 3 full levels between the two-star middle sanctuary and the 5-star middle sanctuary. If they come together, wouldn't they be wiped out every minute? At this moment, there were bursts of whispering around. Tai Shiji glanced around. He didn't need to listen to know that the group of people were talking about whether he was crazy. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3036. If you want to discuss, then discuss it. Anyway, he has enough confidence that he won't be slapped in the face in the end. In this way, now these complaints and contempt will become the strongest driving force for reversal. If that time came, how would these people be able to look at him in shock? Uncle G stretched his waist very naturally, and he felt more at ease. This feeling is really good. The eyes gathered here, and the sound of breathing couldn't help but become real. Thoughts gathered here, and then subconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Comfortable. How comfortable it is. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy in the attic, looked a little uncertain. Seeing Tai Shiji's gesture made him a little unconfident. Is this guy really sure enough? What is the mystery of his disciple? But no matter how mysterious it is, the cultivation base of the two-star mid-stage sanctuary realm is the worst of all flaws. Such bruises cannot be made up for by some talisman weapons. Even those high-level weapons can't be manipulated at all with this level of cultivation. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, secretly narrowed his eyes, thinking to himself, the changes in facial expressions were particularly real. Needless to say about other things for the time being, this kind of feeling gathers here, and gradually the whole person becomes smug. The more you look at it, the more something is wrong, and the more you look at it, the more tricky it is. Ah, this. Can't you stop for a little while? Snort. It seems that Uncle Tai is really optimistic about you, a disciple named Fang Fan. But everyone can say such big words. What will become in the end is the truth. Otherwise, wouldn't it be a slap in the face? Ha ha ha. Everyone, do you think that makes sense? Of course, I naturally don't want my uncle to be slapped in the face at that time. Just a reminder, Brother Tai, please don't care. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, said with a smirk, at this moment, he is completely acting like a villain. While talking at the moment, it immediately rose rapidly, and the whole person became smug. These are not the key points, the most important thing is to look at the final battle situation. These verbal tricks are unreliable anyway, and the days of slapping in the face will still be there. At this moment, everyone's eyes flocked to the arena, wanting to watch the battle between Fang Fan and Tai Sen, a 5-star mid-sanctuary student from Yuanji Academy. Under the stage, Bai Piao seemed to be pumped with blood, full of motivation. Hurry up! Set the gamble! It must be put up. Single side plate. Whoever loses a bet on Fang will pay 100 for 1. 100 for 1. The opportunity to make money is here. Brothers. Sisters. What are you waiting for? 100 times the odds, can you believe it? We have Guangming Academy as our support. Words that are spoken out are water that is poured out, and it is absolutely impossible to recycle them. Brothers. Fight. Invincible. Brothers, get restless. Let's take off. If any of you think that Fang Fan is not good enough, or that his 2-star sanctuary level is rubbish, you should quickly vote for him. Odds of 100 per 1, isn't it good? If the gambling market is to be played well, this advertisement must be played well. Just like this, spread the word. As he was talking at the moment, the gleam in his eyes became more and more intense, and at this moment, his mentality also gathered in an all-round way, and gradually he became ecstatic. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3037. A 100 handicap is the best promotional word in itself. At this moment, when Bai Piapo yelled so loudly, it immediately attracted countless attentions. In addition, this is also marked with the signboard of Guangming Academy, indicating that this is the official market, and it is guaranteed. So the odds are not casually stated, they will be honored in the future. 100 for 1, who doesn't want to make a good fortune? In addition, in fact, many people are not very optimistic about Fang Fan, who is in the middle of the 2-star sanctuary, and think that Fang Fan's cultivation is too low. This is 3 levels behind that Taizan from Yuanji Academy. The 3 small levels are extremely difficult to overcome, let alone the 3 major levels. Isn't this in the Arabian Nights? In any case, it looks a little weird from all angles. At this moment, those gamblers looked at me and I looked at you, and they all seemed a little disbelieving. You may even feel that this is a scam. Anyway, there are all kinds of thoughts, and the thoughts in my heart will follow. Conspiracy. There must be a conspiracy here, brothers, I can see through the handicap of Guangming Academy. This is the real leak plate. Every time I harvest leaks. Especially this kind of unilateral betting, and the high odds, it's guaranteed to make you lose everything. Brother, what do you mean? You mean that Fang Fan, a student from Guangming Academy, will win this competition? He is a 2-star sanctuary, is this possible? He, Guangming Academy's gamblers can squeeze our wool, and we can also turn to other gamblers. The Guangming Academy offers a one-sided bet. You can't bet on Fang Fan's win, you can go to other places, just place a handicap bet on Fang Fan winning. For it. The odds are too low, I think it's better to suppress Fang Fan's loss, 100 for 1. Hey, I don't even know what to say about you, I just know the benefits, and I will understand after I bury myself in it. I've said it's tricky, but I just don't believe it. Really, you have to suffer to know the difficulties and obstacles? The one who shouts the most is called, what is his name, Bai Piao, listen to the name, Bai Piao, don't you just go along with it, whoring for nothing. With that name, you guys dare to fight with him? What are you fighting for? By then, you'll even spoil yourself in it. If you want to be stable, you must be obedient. Don't, Don't be blind. Wave after wave of yelling swept over, and these gamblers began to have their own little juju in their hearts. At least on the surface, I don't want to be too persistent. To put it bluntly, the leeks have grown and are not easy to harvest. But leeks are still leeks after all. Some people are actually quite clever, but they are born with a leek life. This greedy nature can't be changed, and it can only follow Liang Liang in the future. Of course, among the crowd of leeks, it's not that there are some exquisite and wonderful flowers. I bet on Fang Fan at the Yuanqi Academy, and I pay 4.2 for every one. I bet on Fang Fan at Guangming Academy, and I lost 100 for one. I voted for 10 high-grade star cores for each of these two. Whether Fang Fan wins or loses, I'll earn my blood. Tisk, tisk tisk, labor and management must take advantage of this loophole. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3038. Some wishful thinking is just too shrewd. But I have to say, there is nothing wrong with this. As long as you can bet on both sides in time, this is a steady profit. On the one hand, Yuanqi Academy and Guangming Academy are standing behind these two bankers, and there is no case of default. On the other hand, 20 top-grade star cores have already been invested. If Fang Fan wins, 10 of the top-grade star cores can be settled at 4.2 for 1 compensation, which means 42 star cores. As the core of the star core, you can earn 22 top-grade star cores. Of course, if Fang Fan loses, it will be a huge profit. With the odds of 100 for 1 loss, he can almost earn nearly 1,000 top-grade star cores. Because Bai Piao's gambling odds were too weird, this kind of upside-down odds gradually formed. This upside-down order will not lose money, it is completely free. As long as you follow the steps, you may not be able to earn a large amount of star cores, but it's okay to double or something. But even if it is such a welfare bureau, there will still be many people who crash into it head-on, and then they don't know what to do. Anyway, his ignorant eyes glanced around, followed by a full ignorance. Each of them stared wide-eyed, and followed each other instantly. If it's a man, bet 1. I bet this Fang Fan is a silver gun candle head. Labor and management will pay all their net worth of 132 high-grade star cores. If I win, I will get 10,000 high-grade star cores. CAO. This is the real surprise. As for the others, they are all nonsense. Forward. It sounds good, but I feel that I have to follow Liang Liang in the end, it's too risky. Hey. If you don't take risks, how can you earn blood? After the labor and capital get rich, you'll be so jealous. Brothers. Done. The scene was even more lively at the moment, and everyone wished they could all jump over and feel the excitement. The eyeballs are raised horizontally, and the mentality is also full of enthusiasm. In order to be able to win the priority betting right, he almost went straight to it. Fortunately, there was a law enforcement team at the critical moment to maintain order. Otherwise, for the sake of the Star Corps, this group of people will have to do something. This Star Corps is a good thing, for this reason, at all costs. It's not impossible to kill and set fire. The wages of avarice is death. On the attic, Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, frowned and glanced at the chaos below, and suddenly looked unhappy. Snort. The gambling market of this Guangming Academy is a bit outrageous. Such a high-odds gimmick was deliberately created, and then so many people bet. As a result, chaos abounds. 100 for 1. What compensation will I get then? Su Qin, the deputy head of Yuanqi Academy, gritted his teeth, and then said strangely from the side. I don't need to say much about the rest, anyway, my heart is not very happy at this time. Because of this gamble before, he even cheated him with 100,000 top-grade star cores. How can this situation make him feel uncomfortable? He. Since my Guangming Academy dares to boast about such a C, I naturally have the confidence to compensate. Could it be that Deputy Palace Master Su Qin also has itchy hands? Do you want to make a raise? So, it's also very good, and it can also show the friendship of the landlord of Deputy Palace Master Su Qin. Tai Shiji narrowed his eyes, and then said solemnly from the side. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3039. In fact, Tai Shiji just wanted to trick Su Qin into betting more. It is a fortune to cheat a lot, and it is a fortune to be able to cheat a fortune. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, suddenly narrowed his eyes, and there was a look of thought in his eyes. It had to be said that he was really paying attention at this moment. Although the odds of losing 100 are very tempting, but seeing Tai Shiji's excited face, he inexplicably feels that there is something wrong with it. And the problem is still big. If you are not careful, you may be directly involved in it and cannot extricate yourself. If that time comes, it will be really cool. Thoughts gathered here, and his eyes immediately dodged completely. In addition, he is also the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy anyway. How can he easily reveal his preferences in front of so many people? Either way, this doesn't look too good. In all aspects, I always feel a little slapped in the face. In this way, then just follow along. He. After all, this gamble is not a positive thing. This deputy palace master represents the will of Yuanqi Academy, so let's not get involved. If it's time to turn things around, I really want to see what Uncle Tai wants to do with it. I'm afraid there must be hundreds of thousands of high-grade star cores for this betting star core. If the compensation is based on the probability of 1 to 100, it will cost tens of millions of high-grade star cores. Tisk, it's really not that I look down on Guangming Academy. With this star core, does Guangming Academy have enough strength to get it? He, don't make any troubles at that time, it will be really embarrassing. After a wave, there was a burst of ridicule. While speaking, the sneer at the corner of his mouth was fully displayed. Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, is completely acting like he is messing around. The more messy this matter develops, the happier he will feel in his heart. Anyway, what I was thinking about was such an extraordinarily real feeling. A moth. Awkward. Tisk, how did you say that? That's it? My apprentices are all on stage, what else could be unexpected? You don't really think those students from your Yuanqi Academy can show off their prestige in front of my apprentice? Ah, this. Vice Palace Master Su Qin, for the sake of our friendship, I advise you to take it easy. Really, don't keep thinking about these things. Really, there's no need. And won't you still have to slap your face? Tisk, tell me, what's the point? Tai Shiji is such a headmaster at the moment. This is as arrogant as it is to say. Anyway, it has completely drifted away at this moment. After the feeling was in place, the light in the eyes increased more and more. These words made Su Qin, the deputy head of the Yuanqi Academy, look gloomy. Just when he was about to vent, the battle on the ring had already begun. Fang Fan played on behalf of the first year of Guangming Academy. Fight against Tai Sen, who is in the middle 5-star sanctuary of Yuanqi Academy. Ah! Guangming Academy is playing tricks on me like this. Such a waste is actually pulled in front of me. It's really ridiculous. In that case, don't go back. Tai Sen, a first-year student of Yuanqi Academy, snorted coldly, with an arrogant expression on his face. Immediately gearing up, ready to pounce. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3040. Dai. Tai Sen, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, snorted coldly, and then the speed of his attack became faster in an instant, with the momentum of directly crushing. The long sword in his hand danced at high speed in the air, and he watched dazzling sword flowers stab out in the air. Looking at it from this angle, it is quite shocking. Scanning around for a while at this moment, I was inexplicably caught in that shocking atmosphere and couldn't extricate myself. The sound of inhalation could not help but followed, and the whole person also became swaying. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is very real. Everything is in full swing. Good. Great sword. Yuanji Academy is worthy of being one of the 3 universities. The students trained here are different. Just this one hand has already generated sword energy. This Taisen is not only powerful in his fists, but also unique in his swordsmanship. Hey! According to this Taisen's combat power, I'm afraid it will not be easy to lose even against the existence of the upper 5-star high-level sanctuary. The Yuanji Academy has been pestering the Dark Academy and the Bright Academy to attack and compete with each other over the years, and the opportunity has slowly risen. Who says it's not? In the past, Yuanji Academy was the weakest of the 3 universities, but now you look at it, it's no longer the same. Wave after wave of yelling followed, and at the moment it seemed quite admirable. While talking, the whole person also became smug. Needless to say the rest, this feeling is particularly real. These praises from around gradually reached the ears of Taisen, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, and the arrogance on his face grew more and more. He is too senile to become the number 1 person in Yuanji Academy. He wants to make everyone look at him with admiration. If you want to achieve what you want, you must fight to the end. These people in front of you will be your own stepping stones. Thinking of this secretly in his heart, Taisen gradually became a little smug. The sword in his hand stabs at Fang Fan. Whoosh! Whoosh whoosh! The piercing sound from the sword piercing the air was particularly obvious. Feeling this time, his eyes couldn't help but become firm. While the lips were twitching, the state of mind also changed invisibly. At this moment, he looked at Fang Fan, his eyes were full of abusive comfort. Clang! The sound of metal colliding came, and the Zhantian sword in Fang Fan's hand collided with this Taisen sword. Immediately, Taisen's sword trembled directly from his hand, and immediately after, the sword in Fang Fan's hand flashed a sword light, and swept towards Taisen directly. Taisen, who was in a daze, hadn't reacted yet, but was pressed hard by the sword light cast by this heaven-slashing sword. No. Don't. Ah 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 ah. The heart-piercing roar of pain followed, and the skull of Tai Sen, a first-year student of Yuanji Academy, was cut open bit by the sword light. Immediately after struggling on the ground, he lay there motionless. Dead. He died. The referee stepped forward to feel it for a while, and then his body and mind trembled. Needless to say anything else, there is something wrong with my mentality at this moment. This situation is getting more and more serious. The situation is also suppressed virtually. Next, how should I deal with myself next? This scene looks very embarrassing. At this moment, he licked his lips and looked around, feeling at a loss.